Everyone, this is Dean DaCosta, and today instead of talking a tool or something, we're going to talk about lesser sites. I've done a series of on this, and I've decided to bring it to the video world. So in this case, we're going to try to X-ray into a lesser known site called VisualCV. It's a place where you make visual resumes of people. As you can see, I've already done the site colon, which is your normal X-raying, visualcv.com, developer, Java, and I've minus samples because I know from looking at it that that happens quite a bit. As you can see, we got 2,080 results, which is really pretty darn good for that many, for that. Really pretty good. But Visual CV is one of those unique sites where it is a dual X-ray site. Normally, it's a site command or a domain command. 90% of the time it's site. But guess what happens if we type in domain? Remember, we had 2080 on here. We're going to type in domain instead, and we're going to get 25,700 people that have visuals resumes. That's really incredible when you consider the fact that it's really kind of odd that you have a site command and domain. Now, you do look here and you'll notice these are all resumes for the most part. Of course, you do every once in a while you get something like title with a consultant or a title with this or stuff, but for the most part, these are really legit people. There's really not much of a way to narrow it down further because, well, the reality of the situation is that's just the way Visual CV is. Now you'll notice there's some sites near that aren't Visual CV. The reason why they're showing up is because when you go into that site, there's a connection to Visual CV. So while I'm not going to tell you this is the best way to do it, it definitely brings you back more results. And some of these are actually legitimate resumes, which is really pretty cool. So you're actually getting the benefit of X-raying into Visual CV as well as X-raying into other sites that have visual style resumes. Again, realizing that it's a little different than if you do it through the site. So if we're doing it this way, domain, we get that many, of which a good percentage are what we want. If we do it this way with the site command, we're getting right into Visual CV. We're going to get a lot less, but these are actual Visual CV only. So think of it as this. The site command gets you specifically to Visual CV. The domain can get you the Visual CV, but also will get you any other visual CV oriented resumes that are out there on other sites besides Visual CV. So now you have a dual method for getting in there and finding people. And this is really pretty cool. And remember, I specified Java. If I take off the Java and I do specifically the dot to regular developers, we got a whole lot more people. And developer is only one way you could say it. There's a lot of different ways to say it. Let's actually get rid of the word developer and just see what we're dealing with is a population minus the samples part. Population in Visual CV is 112,000 people. That's a lot of people. That a lot of recruiters don't even think to go to because it's not a very well-known site. So it's another site for you to search. A good way to go. I am going to continue to do a series of these on the visual on the lesser sites, X-raying in, just to kind of bring it to life so you can actually see it. Some of them are a little more difficult than others, so I want to show you rather than having you read them. And to be honest, the written ones are a little old and people need to see them again. So long story short, this was X-raying into the lesser known site called VisualCV, and this is Dean DaCosta.